This is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 357. Today, May 3rd, 2023, I got my driver's license, but even more amazing, I drove to Homestead. So from where I live to the fruit farms here in South Florida, it's an hour drive on the highway, an hour and a half with traffic, but it was an hour drive today going to this fruit wholesaler and an amazing place called Roberts is Here. And this is in Homestead. Homestead is where all the fruit is grown here in South Florida. Yeah, there's other farms, not really in Miami, of course. There's no farms in Miami. It's more of like a rural? I can't say that word. Rural area. Can you say that word? Because I can't. Rural. Okay, should practice that before I pressed record. But anyway, so it's more of city life and stuff. But the farms are in Homestead. And I drove there today. And the other day, I've been taking driving lessons, as you guys know. On the other day, I did drive on the highway for 30 minutes. And it was terrifying. And I had multiple panic attacks, and I was sweating even though the AC was blasting, and my best friend, bless her heart, because she was freezing to death, and I was sweating and I was panicking because my hands go numb, my feet go numb. I feel like I can't see. I feel I'm going to pass out. I have major anxiety and fear. And I learned finally last night, I finally learned that I don't have a fear of driving. I have a fear of being out of control, of not feeling fully in control. Can you relate to that? Because maybe it doesn't manifest through driving. Maybe it manifests through other ways, like not feeling confident or comfortable enough to go live on YouTube or Instagram, or quit your job, or doing like a public speech, speaking on stage, because you feel like it's really like out of control, out of your control. There's elements that are not in your control. And I was thinking about it, how some people are currently addicted to processed foods, like, breads and sugar and salt and oil and things that they don't want to eat. And I was thinking maybe they want to feel in control. And so that's why they eat these things. Because if I take away like certain foods, it's like, now you're not in control of what you eat. You only can eat the things that are on the list of the things that you should eat. And then you just spend your whole life shitting on yourself. And it's like, I'm trying to now put myself back in the mindset of who I was 12 years ago. And it's someone who doesn't exist anymore. So forgive me if I cannot relate at this moment in time to anyone who's addicted to processed foods. I can't relate to that. But I do recall feeling extremely addicted. So I know I had a food addiction. I know it existed. And I'm trying to understand my mentality back then. But I wasn't aware. I think the main reason why I can't really recall exactly what was going on is because I was not aware of what was going on. I was living in a fog state. I was living in on autopilot, and I wasn't thinking about analyzing why I couldn't stay away from certain foods, why I kept going on diets and falling off, telling myself I was never going to eat, I was never going to eat fried foods and then eating them. I was never going to binge again and then binging that same exact night. I think that if I was aware, if I was doing the self-development work, if I was getting real with myself and talking to myself in the mirror and getting aware of what I was doing, I think I would start the healing process, right? It's just a lot of us are living subconsciously or unconsciously, I should say. And when we start to live consciously, we start to make conscious decisions. And no, we're not perfect because yes, we're humans. But I truly believe that awareness is the first step in the healing process. And I say it all the time to you guys. But it really does start the healing. And then just tonight, I was tapping with my ladies in the Food Addiction Freedom course, which I'm actually sad it's coming to an end next week, and I can't believe it. And these ladies are so amazing, and I always attract the most incredible human beings into my life, and I know that is because I've been saying that affirmation for years. And whatever you say comes true. Yeah, try it. You know, if you say, I love exercise, I love sweating, I love working out, if you say that over and over and over, hundreds, thousands of times, you're reprogramming your subconscious. And one day, guess fucking what? You'll like exercising. I'm literally starting to love exercising, and I love sweating, and I love yoga, and I love moving my body. And in a million years, I never thought that would actually be true. But it's becoming true because I'm reprogramming my subconscious. And most of us are not even taking advantage of the power we have. Most of us are not even taking advantage of the words that are putting a spell on our life. So I want to end this episode, honestly, because I want to eat my durian, because I bought durian to celebrate my driver's license. And also, going back to the driving on the highway, to celebrate how I didn't quit. You know, I did feel like I was dying. I did feel like I was going to pass out. I did feel many times I told Awa, that's my best friend, I told her that I have to pull over on the side of the highway. I have to, because I had never drove on the highway for an hour. So after 30 minutes, I drove for 30 minutes the other day, so I knew I could do that. But bless you. But driving more than 30 minutes, my body just started to react, and I was not in control anymore. And I swear I was going to pass out, and I was sweating, and I was shaking, and I was freaking out because I felt like I couldn't, I wasn't breathing. I was holding my breath. I felt like I couldn't see. My mouth was going numb. It was so weird. All these things were happening to me. You know, my feet were numb, my hands were numb. I was freaking out because I'm holding the wheel so goddamn tight. And what happened is that I had never been there before. I had never been on the highway more than 30 minutes. So for the first 30 minutes, I was fine. But then 31 minutes must have came, and my body didn't know what was happening because I had never experienced that before. I was in uncharted new territory, and that is what you might be in. If you're trying to change your diet, if you're trying to change your life and do new things and start your new business, and it's really, really, really fucking hard and scary, you might be in uncharted territory. Or if you can't relate to me, then you haven't been doing anything to push yourself. Because if you're not having fear, and if you're not almost panicking, if you're not afraid, if your heart is not racing, then you're not doing anything new. And John Mayer, he has this line in this song. He goes, check your pulse. It's proof that you're not listening to the call your life's been giving you. Something like that. And I was going to sing it just now, but let's not. Yeah. If your pulse is not racing, are you even alive? How do I know you're alive? You got to stretch yourself. And I know you're going to want to pull over. And I know you're going to want to go back. and you're going to want to just be safe. But safe never gets you what you want. I really, really, really want to be eating the fruit that I can eat here. I don't want to be shopping at Publix and Whole Foods, fucking wasting all this money on this food that comes from China and it says it's organic. It's not even fucking organic and tastes like shit because it's picked way too early. And listen, if that's your situation, then that's your situation. I've been raw for 12 years eating that way. Okay, so you can do it. But after 12 goddamn years, and I moved all the way here, I needed to learn how to drive. And I've been here in South Florida for 3 years, guys. 3 years. It took me, I'm 38, so technically it took me 38 years. But 3 years in Florida it took me. And let me tell you, I should have learned how to drive in New York. Then I could have bought food from the wholesalers in New York instead of spending God only knows how much money on food at Whole Foods and Chinatown and all these places that mark it up so much. If you have the ability to drive, you gotta shop at wholesalers. If you're trying to be healthy, what are you doing shopping at these fucking stores? You're wasting money and you're not getting the quality and the quantity that you need to be healthy. Costco is a good option for sure, but hey, I knew that I needed to get to Homestead because this is where the food is that I want. This is where the fruit grows. This is where fresh papayas grow and mangoes and all these things, jackfruit. And it's like, wow, today was amazing. And yes, after I got my driver's license, I drove to the wholesaler and I got some fruit. Oh my gosh. And they didn't have much because it was late in the day and it was around 5 and they close at 5. And tip is you got to bring cash. You always got to bring cash. But I got 2 cases of pineapples and 4 cases of mangoes and a box of amazing fruit from this like awesome fruit stand called Roberts' here, which is like a total ripoff. Guys, Mame Sapote was $15 a pound. Meanwhile, it's like $2 a pound at the wholesaler. But anywhom, I got to do what I got to do because they didn't have any at the wholesaler left. But I needed some mame in my life. By the way, I got a new type of mame. I think it's called Mame Americano, something like this. And it's like a new variety. Okay, that's it. That's the podcast for today. I'm not trying to brag, but please understand, I've been eating supermarket food for 12 years. I mean, for 38 years, but for 12 years raw, 100% raw. And you don't know what it took for me to get to Homestead today, to pass my license. I wasn't ready. I'm still not ready. I've been taking driving lessons. I have an amazing driving coach. I had to spend the money, which I really didn't want to do because I don't have it. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm just getting by here, okay? I don't have a lot of money. I don't have family support. I don't have an income other than living my life purpose. And, that doesn't really, that's not a predictable income. So I can't really spend a lot of money, but I had to do it. I had to invest in the driving lessons because without those lessons, I would not be able to do this. And so you're going to have to invest in yourself. And you're going to have to do it scared, and you're going to have to do it shaking. And that's the only way. And they don't teach you this. You probably think that there's some people that are just born with stuff, born with confidence, born with, talent or fortitude or perseverance. But the truth is that the way you get confidence is to do things that take confidence. Just like the way you get better at driving is to drive. The way you get better at driving an hour on the highway is to actually drive an hour on the highway. And it was so scary. And the first time you do something, it's supposed to be scary. Just like fighting a craving. Oh my gosh, one of my clients, I got to message her. I got to go, guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I love you. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, boo.